Hello, this is Al Jazeera, and these are some of the stories that we're covering. A Chinese fishing boat captain arrested in disputed waters by Japanese authorities is to head home. Tokyo agreed to release him after the arrest sparked the worst diplomatic standoff between China and Japan in years. But his release could be a sign that the tensions are easing. Melissa Chan is in Chengdu in China.
Both countries will try to now put this incident behind them, although it's not entirely finished to a certain extent. After all, there's the recent news that Japanese nationals have been detained in China for supposedly illegally filming around a military base. But the Japanese have come out to say that they don't feel this is a quid pro quo situation, that they will deal with that situation separately and will work with the Chinese on resolving that issue.
The United Nations is holding a special summit on Sudan, and US President Barack Obama is just one of the people attending. Among the issues to be discussed is the planned January referendum in the south, when people will decide whether to become independent from the north. Volunteers are going door to door encouraging southerners to vote to separate from the Muslim north. The United Nations says preparations are behind schedule, but the government says it'll be ready. Khairu Mutasa is in southern Sudan.
This referendum is being described as a new beginning for people living in southern Sudan, and the strategy right now seems to be to get as many people as possible to vote. But there's still a lot of unresolved issues, like if the south does separate from the north of the country, what will happen to the oil reserves?
The UN's Food and Agriculture Organization is holding an emergency summit in Rome to try to prevent a repeat of the crisis of 2008, when poor harvests sparked riots around the world. One of the countries that's feeling the strain is Thailand, where rice production is expected to be down by about 1 million tons this year. But the Thais say they still expect to produce enough to take advantage of the increased overseas demand that's pushing prices up. Wayne Hay reports from Thailand.
Despite the government's assurance that the domestic market won't be affected by the increased export demand, there are likely to be some tough decisions ahead as more nations come knocking on Thailand's door.
You can find the latest on all those stories and more at aljazeera.net/English.